Okay, so we're going to go a little deeper into this lesson. So let's look at what is cybersecurity. Well, cybersecurity is the art of protecting networks, devices, and data from unauthorized users or criminals who want to use their practices to do criminality. It's ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. That's what cybersecurity is. And it seems that everything relies on computers these days, so that's why we need to be able to secure those systems, right? You want to know that the information that was sent to you is the information that was actually sent from the other side and that someone hasn't changed it. You want to have access to those systems, meaning that some type of person or virus or additional electronics aren't keeping you from getting access. And you want to know that the information that was sent to you is kept secret, meaning if one person sent the information to you and you receive it, that someone along the route did not have access to that information. That is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so what are the risks of having poor cybersecurity? Well, there are many risks, so some of these risks are more serious than others. Among the dangers is you could get malware, which is bad software, on your computer system that erases everything. That's pretty bad, right? Using your computer should not be a dangerous part of your life, right? If you put data and information on your computer, you should be able to be confident that that information is going to be there when you come back. You should be confident that that information is not being snooped on by somebody external to your computer. All right? And so let's talk about what you can do to improve cybersecurity. So the first step is to protect yourself. In protecting yourself is to realize that there is a risk, right? Familiarize yourself with the following terms to better understand the risk. So hackers, attackers, intruders. Those terms all apply to the people who are seeking to exploit the weaknesses in the software and the computer systems that we're talking about. And they do it for their own gain. Although these intentions are sometimes benign and they're just doing it for the purpose of being disruptive or being curious, the consequences to you could be the same. So although there are some very advanced hacking techniques that you may not be able to defend against, there are things that you can do that can reduce the risk of you being a victim of a cyber attack that is successful. There are going to be cyber attacks all the time, but they do not have to be successful. All right, so malicious code. When you hear that term, malicious code, also called malware, is unwanted files or programs that cause harm to your computer and compromise the data that is stored on that computer. It includes viruses, worms, and it includes Trojan horses. Those are things that you are familiar with, or a file that you know you're putting on your computer, but then once it gets on your computer, it reveals itself and starts doing all kinds of other things that you had no expectation that the software would do. So it might require you to actually do something before one of these Trojans, malware, or viruses infect your computer, such as in some cases when you open a certain file, it will make the malware reveal itself. Or if you connect to a certain website and click on a link, or if you get an email from someone you do not know, or it's a suspicious email because words are spelled incorrectly, or it's from someone promising you something that's too good to be true, those are the signs. But if you follow through and you click the link where it potentially says, if you go to this website, we will give you $50. Well, it's unlikely that someone's going to give you $50. But if you click on that link, it unloads the package onto your computer. So some forms of malware propagate without users' intervention also. And typically they start by exploiting software vulnerabilities. Once the victim's computer has been infected, the malware will attempt to find and infect other computers. So if I have malware on my computer because I clicked that link, that malware may start trying to route itself to others who are in my contact list. So now it's not just me with a virus, but it's all of my contacts, just like with public health, where if I get a virus and I'm around other people that I'm connected to, they potentially can get the virus. So the next word is vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are flaws in the software, firmware, or hardware that can be exploited by an attacker. And these vulnerabilities are things that can typically be fixed. And the way that they're fixed is a word called patching. So when a software developer like Microsoft makes software, over a period of time they will find vulnerabilities, the same vulnerabilities that hackers are looking for, and they release a patch to fix that vulnerability. That's why it's important that you set your computer so that it does automatic updates from Microsoft, because they will automatically fix vulnerabilities that they find in their system. So to minimize the risk of cyber attacks, follow these basic cybersecurity best practices. Keep your software up to date. Don't click on links from people you don't know the link came from. Okay? And make sure that you don't go to websites and download music that says free music, or download software from organizations you are not familiar with. Because in a lot of cases, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. This is Mike Echols, and we'll see you for the next class.